Video games today give a very distorted representation of a lot of groups within this country. With the gaming lab here at Eastern Kentucky University, a lot of the research that I and my colleagues do, we're beginning to challenge that, beginning to challenge those skewed understandings of a lot of women, of people of color.
When you play these games, it's kind of like you treat these minorities as nothing, and that's not how society is today. You know, we as people are changing step by step.
We want to critically challenge those things so we can begin to have a better understanding of the people that we may not understand.
You don't think about it, but after taking this class and just being within this environment, you start to realize how damaging, how awful that can be of those people within that culture.
So what happens is that you constantly are bombarded with these images. You're constantly seeing these women with these very one-dimensional characters in these, scantily clad dress clothes, and you constantly see that over and over in video games, in music, in movies, and that begins to influence people's understanding of these different characters. So people might begin to believe that, hey, that's the standard of beauty that women need to uphold.
The women in the game are really over-sexualized. Or if they weren't over-sexualized, they were just made to not even be appealing.
Our students are mostly criminal justice professionals, justice and safety, homeland security. They're going to go into these justice professions, these law enforcement professions. So because they're dealing with people, they need to have a true engagement with with diverse populations. They need to truly understand, women's lives and women's realities. They need to truly understand Black experiences, Latino experiences, Asian experiences. And so video games is a good place to start to begin to expose people to different groups of people that they may not be exposed to.
We can actually learn a lot from each culture. We can actually not be afraid to say, hey, what would you like to do? What can we do to make this a better place, instead of just going on what we know and what we was passed on generation.
But it's going to be important that we begin to change the narrative, to change the story that's been mediated to us, so that we can have a more equal, fair, just society for all of us to engage in.